finished this book, Phoenix Rising, No Eyes Vision of the Changes to Come by Mary Summer Rain. And I kind of want to give you like a summary of this book. This book was written, I think, in 1986, but the message that was given in this book was by a Native American woman by the name of No Eyes, because she was a blind woman that lived in the mountains of Colorado. And this message was given to her over the course of like many years prior to 1984 to Mary Summer Rain, who lived in the Colorado mountains. So basically there's like a ton in this book that isn't really the gist of the message, because it is like kind of like a biography of that time period that she went through with No Eyes. She learned a lot about like medicine, alternative medicine. Obviously it's not really alternative, more like natural medicine, because it was before allopathic medicine, so it really isn't alternative, it's the original medicine. So she learned that, and then she learned like herbology, like how to make tea and how to do different treatments and prepare different native plants that grow in Colorado. So she also has some different experiences where she encounters like spirits with No Eyes, and kind of like does this whole astral realm kind of in and out experiences in Colorado, which is kind of confusing, but like I guess just what she went through. I don't understand exactly if it was like something physical, or if she saw in a dream, or if she was in an altered state. I don't know, but I don't feel like that's the important part of the story. There are like prophetic words by No Eyes in the book, and that's why I picked up the book and I bought this book, because I was really curious about, I'm like super into prophecy. I'm not saying that I believe every prophecy, but I've always been captivated by like Nostradamus and like was her name like Baba Vaga. I'll have to look her up and like share something about her. But there are like so many prophetic visions that people have experienced throughout time. There is like a huge body of prophecy in the Catholic Church. I know that the Native American people have a ton of prophecy, and a lot of communities have a deep history of prophecy. Eastern Europe, like that's really big in the history of Eastern Europe, just tons of prophecy, and people who many times are blind having these profound visions, because if someone has one disability or one handicap, there often is an embellishment of other senses that kind of compensate for those issues that the person has. So No Eyes is sharing her prophecies with Mary Summer Rain in the book, and her prophecies are about what is coming for America. So basically what she kind of shares is that the watchers, or the spirits that guide and protect humanity, are kind of tapping out in the future. So this was in like the 1980s, and she says that in the coming years that these watchers are going to kind of tap out, and they will stop protecting humanity, and that there will be an increase of accidents, but also like psychological problems. So people like committing really heinous crimes, like killing family members, different violence in communities, more increase in white collar crimes, so more like embezzlement, stealing from companies, more anger toward companies and corporations, and more crimes committed by corporations. So more of people individually trying to take back what they feel they deserve because of their anger toward corporations. So that is kind of a theme, and also more distrust of government, more people turning away from the government and not doing what the government says, and a huge issue with creations of humans. So technology, she says, is like not really natural, a lot of it, and that like what is coming, or like I guess we would already be considered like in it because it was written in the 1980s and we're in 2024, is like more plane crashes, more car crashes, just more accidents and incidents with involving technology failing. And she says that this is like largely due to people just being lazy, not exactly being lazy, being thoughtless and not being particular about the way they do things, and that's going to increase. And just a lot more of like catastrophes in general. So catastrophes related to technology, and also catastrophes related to the earth. And so she talks about how like Mother Earth houses us, and how Mother Earth is not happy with all of these technological advancements that she feels are not in line with the natural order. So the way we build our houses, she says, will change, that we will have houses that are built more like in the earth, like more built in the earth where like Mother Earth likes us to live, because that's like we're her children. She likes us close. So that's what she was saying. And then also more of a pursuit of doing things the natural way in the future. So she says that there are all these upcoming calamities, like that there will be more earthquakes, and actually some really bad earthquakes in the places that are active. And then she also talks about how there will be nuclear explosions, like with nuclear power plants. So after this book was written, like around that time, after she gave this message, Chernobyl happened, and then there was that whole catastrophe in Japan. So she says that this kind of thing is kind of going to become a more regular occurrence, but she doesn't say how many times it will happen. So maybe that was like the total amount of times, but who knows? And she talks about not living on fault lines, and that there will be a lot of accidents that happen with that. And then she says that the government will increase taking away rights, and will take away even people's right to religion, people's just personal rights, human rights, and that people will start to just completely rebel against the government. And that one of the things that people will do, and this is really interesting because I haven't seen any evidence of this so far, I don't see anyone doing this, but like a complete basically just neglecting paying taxes, so that people will just stop paying taxes, and that people will be so angry because of the wars that we're involved in, which honestly, like I could kind of see people are really angry about how the money is being spent that the government is getting from our taxes. So she's saying that people will just like stop taking part in it and stop being a part of that system, and will like stop paying taxes, and that they're going to try to send even more people overseas for wars, and that people are just going to like dodge draft. They're just going to stop joining the military, and people are going to even like go to the extent of like moving overseas to escape joining the military. So I mean, I feel like that would be more indicated if we see a draft. But she talks about after all of this happening, the government will or the people rise up against the government. But then she says that after that, there will be this like golden age where people live amongst nature in a more harmonious and symbiotic way, and that people will return to more of the native ways, and that there will be a return to people seeking out native wisdom, and that the natives will actually have like Native Americans will have like more of a prominent place in giving back to the community what they have sort of either lost or have tried to keep track of. So more of an emphasis on the native wisdom and like bringing that back. So I just think this is so fascinating. It's an interesting read. It's not a very long book if you want to read it. But yeah, I just thought I would share like what she has to say. If you believe it, like leave it in the comments. I'm really interested in what people think about this, if they think it's real or just like an old lady who's crazy.